Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts. In this video I'll be looking at Conan the Barbarian issues 9 and 10 and Savage Sword of Conan issue 2. Okay, so we're back to Conan. This is issue 9, issue 10 and Savage Sword issue 2. I had to miss the arc before this one because one of the issues got missed and I had to order a back issue. The third issue of the arc came after the fourth issue. It all got a bit confusing about what was going on, and I thought by the time it was all kind of set in order, four issues had been out, and I thought, okay, people have read this if they need to read this, so I thought we'll start again when we get a new arc, and the same thing happened with these issues. I got issue 9 and 10 virtually almost on top of each other. So anyway, so we will start with issue 9. So issue 9 we're here with a particularly nice cover. Again, I've gone for these Texas covers if possible now, because they're very nice, and they don't think they're any more expensive. And this is the Adotto one, so yeah. Okay, so we've got a flashback. We see what's his name? The Arthurian Age Brawl, the Spear Slayer. He basically destroys apparently a Blackstone monument, which we've seen previously, and emerging from the monument is Conan. And Conan is confused where he is and realizes at some point that he is in the past after being captured and basically held to ransom, well, not held to ransom, held prisoner by Brawl. He managed to fight off this killer cat, and they kind of say, oh, okay, you're a warrior, we'll let you go and you can kind of visit where we're going. So they go to here, which is Valusia, and it's apparently this kind of mega city area that he's never seen before, which is quite cool. They have a look around there, and we see this guy. Now this is the, unless I'm mistaken, Temple Elephant, I believe the story's called, who is killed by Conan, spoilers, in his own era, but this is the like years and decades or whatever it is, 100 years before Conan was around, and he knows Conan is displaced, and he knows that he will be at the end with Conan. So that's quite cool. It's kind of a little bit of a face of Bow Doctor Who episode, that kind of thing. But yeah, good stuff. Quite a nice little Easter egg. Rather good way of kind of reintroducing that character. Anyway, they're introduced to the ruler, is King Cole. So we've got another crossover with another Howard property, which is pretty decent. And Cole basically smacks out Conan's mate who rescued him, and Conan and Cole have a bit of a combat, which is rather cool. And Conan actually loses because he is smacked around the back of the head, and then they're captured, and Cole seems to be like, what was that all about? That seems a bit weird. And then he's held prisoner. So yes. So I mean, this is weird. Oh, because yeah, Savage Sword 1. So I mean, I don't know how long this dates back, but it's obviously a while ago. And then we've got a little bit about the Arthurian Age, which is quite cool. Which again is nothing I really know about. I mean, my Conan knowledge is growing because of the amount of Conan books I'm reading through this and through Marvel stuff. But the Cole stuff, I've never read anything. So, but that's cool. But yeah, it's nice covers this one. So that's it. That's issue 9. Okay, so this is issue 10. Another text-free cover. We open up with Cole having a flashback to his original self from around the early years of him, Atlantis, exile from Atlantis, and then basically sees himself in a mirror which shows him through his life path to becoming this kind of old guy, and then King Cole as well. And they also encounter this statue which he destroys, and he gets a vision of the destruction of the city they're in at the moment. So this vision seems to suggest that there is something going on, and they need to go and figure out what is actually going to kind of destroy the city. So Cole goes and questions Conan and his friend, and they board a ship. Off they go. Cole's got his warriors and some archers and some slaves in there, which is quite cool. There's quite a nice Beneath every idealistic civilization is the human tool that builds the barricades and fuels its fire. Quite a nice little line there. I think that's pretty cool. Completely out. So it's like, yeah, if you didn't, yeah, you'd have these kind of adventure stories. It's like, oh well, there's no slaves, no slaves. There is slaves doing the thing. So anyway, Conan basically trains on ship, and he's kind of effectively seduced by this archer. They are boarded by pirates, and which appear to be kind of some kind of like mermen, fishermen kind of thing, rather than just kind of standard pirates as well. The ship is kind of sinking, and they manage to get on board a little raft, and they come across the island, and there's apparently they should be going to the Cole's village, I believe it is. And when they get to Cole's village, they find there is a massive, massive hole there, and it shouldn't be there. So that's quite cool. But yeah, this story's been pretty decent. I mean, the last one was pretty decent. This one, I quite like the crossover. I think, as far as I'm aware, they're planning a Howard-verse crossover, and we're supposed to be seeing something running through King Cole, Conan, and the other characters. I think there's like 5 or 6 characters, and I don't know how they're doing it because I believe there's a novel tie-in as well, kind of like they did with Time Lord Victorious from Time, which is quite interesting. But yeah, so bringing Cull into this is kind of like a good way to introduce him, and it probably is a way to set up that kind of crossover thing. And obviously we've got Solomon Kane in the back of Savage Sword, so that's pretty cool. And but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the other ones, but we'll see. But yeah, so this is good. So those 2 issues kind of tied together as a 2-part, I assume a 4-part, and then we are on to the somewhat controversial Savage Sword of Conan issue 2. So, artwork of issue 1 for the main story. It was okay. It was very, very grayscale, and it had some kind of pre-rendered text, pre-rendered kind of images in it that seemed to kind of be used for skin and stuff like this. And it's kind of like didn't seem to be prepared for black and white. It almost seems like a color thing kind of scanned in. Anyway, this is a little bit better in one way and a little bit worse in another way. So, basically, the artwork is prepared for black and white. There's obviously there's zipper tone. There's a lot of cross hatching and kind of hatching and all this kind of stuff as well. And it isn't too bad. But it is very, very rough and very, very kind of dark. But because it is prepared for black and white printing rather than kind of this kind of weird grayscale thing, it's kind of at least vaguely easy to see what's going on. So yeah, it's not exactly my favourite style. Again, you know, I tend to like, tight pencils, kind of nice proper firm inks, definitely like to find characters and all this kind of stuff as well. Again, like 2000 AD used to be. And the story itself's pretty good. Basically, they find you joining up with a group of people and making their way. They find they're attacked by these weird kind of mutant doodad creatures that Conan swiftly puts to death. Conan is injured and basically kind of dropped into a pit. He manages to crawl out of the pit and basically sits underneath this tree for ages whilst he's kind of like effectively trying not to die and healing. And this kid comes along and basically finds him after discovering that this kid apparently lives in the village where these monsters come from. So, and the village worships this giant monstrosity monster thing. So, basically, he tells Conan that the people of the village are kind of destined to become these monsters at some point by worshipping this giant creature. And the kid doesn't quite understand that Conan is kind of like was the enemy and has escaped in this sense. So Conan's over the course of several weeks, possibly even months, Conan's kind of getting stronger. He managed to fight off this wolf, and then basically the kid says, "Okay, will you teach me how to fight rather than kind of going along with what's going on in the village? Can you teach me how to fight?" And Conan says, "Yeah, of course. Because I'm too weak." And Conan says, "You're not too weak because you've decided to kind of take your own destiny in your own hands, kind of thing, rather than kind of just follow the village of kind of their evil practices." Anyway, Conan is then regaled, tells us some stories of what's going on, which is pretty cool because you've got kind of flashbacks to various E. Howard stories there as well. Anyway, so yeah, so eventually the dead rise from the pits where the bad guys buried all the thing, and Conan takes up his axe to go and basically kill the thing. It's a giant kind of weird, looks like Beelzebub kind of thing from Persona, which is quite interesting because I just finished that. But yeah, so he's compelled to go and try and drink from the water, which is what causes all the transformations of the thing, and manages to shrug it off. Cuts down the bad guy, burns the village to the ground, and then basically hacks to pieces the giant monster. And unfortunately, during the process, the kid is drunk the thing and basically died because I think it only works on so many people. So he basically buries the kid as a promise, and then, well, does he bury the kid, or is the kid maybe the kid's? It's kind of I get the impression maybe the kid is just basically on the verge of transforming, and kind of Conan finishes him off before he does so. I don't know. And then he just carries on and off he goes, being Conan. So yeah, it's again artwork is just a little bit rough, but it's kind of better than that slew of grayscale stuff. Um, I mean this is nice grayscale, and then obviously we get to Solomon Kane, which I'm not reading at the moment, admittedly enough, but the artwork of Solomon Kane is so much nicer than anything on the last two. It's just again it's prepared for black and white. It's got grayscale, it's got black and white in it, and it just looks really really nice. I think I will sit down and read these all in one kind of go rather than kind of a little bit at a time when they actually turn up. But say I've never been a Solomon Kane fan because I don't really know much about him. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, all in all, not too bad. So as an experiment, I took a page from Conan 10, scanned it in, turned it to grayscale, fiddled with the levels a little bit, and this is what I come up with. And it looks really, really good. I'm not quite sure why we're not getting something as really nice as this for the black and white Conan stuff, because this is what I would expect. I mean, this is kind of it's got tone to it. It's not purely black and white. I mean, you could go like the old 2000 AD stuff where it's almost purely black and white with maybe a little bit zip tone, but this is grayscale, and it's grayscale enough that you can actually make out what the hell's going on rather than just kind of being a big dirge of grey. So yeah, this is it's a puzzle why this is not the standard we're doing Savage Sword with. The Obviously, as mentioned before, the backup strip in the Bat Solomon Kane stuff, that's done right. That's made for a black and white comic, and it's done in grayscale and black and white, and it looks really, really nice. And this is what Conan could look like, and at the moment, it doesn't. So that's about it for these. Let's say these Conans. We've obviously got some more on the horizon. I think again, presumably these is ongoing. Seems to be doing quite well. Savage Sword, 3 issues, 4 issues, 6 issues. Not a clue. Suppose it depends how it sells. It's not bad enough that it's not worth picking up because it's more Conan, but I don't quite understand why it's not better than it is, because they could definitely do it. So anyway, that's what I think of these. If you've got any opinions of Conan or the Titan stuff in general, that'd be really cool to hear. And if you'd like to subscribe, I'd be very, very grateful. And hopefully I will catch you on the next video. Thanks very much. Bye bye.